Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 2022 Ford Maverick. Now I just barely released a video on the Maverick, but this was kind of a guess video where I was just assuming what the truck might have. The funny thing is most of my assumptions were correct on the truck, and so yes, this video is going to be about the official specifications from Ford on the truck. And then after that I want to get into the type of buyer that would be looking at this truck, and then we'll kind of get into why this truck even matters. And so yeah, with all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Let's get into the Maverick, and first off we're going to start with the powertrain options. So the standard powertrain is going to be a 2.5 liter hybrid powertrain. Goes through a CVT transmission. It's a 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder, front wheel drive as well, 191 horsepower, and then they're shooting for 40 miles per gallon. That's the most impressive part, is they're shooting for around 40 miles per gallon for a pickup truck. It's pretty much unheard of. The best fuel economy you can get out of right now in terms of pickup trucks is the smaller diesels, and those are like mid to high 20s. So I think that's really impressive. But it's interesting. It's a front wheel drive CVT pickup truck that's a hybrid. Kind of an interesting world we live in nowadays. Now the optional engine you can get for it is the turbocharged 2 liter 4-cylinder. That one's good for 250 horsepower, goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. That's the package to get if you actually are going to be towing with the Maverick, because the towing capacity for the hybrid is only about 2,000 pounds, whereas the turbocharged 2 liter 4-cylinder is about 4,000 pounds, so it has a little bit more towing capacity, but you do have to get a tow package on it, like not like a receiver hitch tow package, but like a towing package on the Maverick to get that 4,000 pounds. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it's a little bit weird how I said that. If you guys want driving impressions with these engines, not necessarily in the Maverick, then just look up Ben Hardy Ford Bronco Sport for the 2 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, because I've got some videos on that. And then if you want the hybrid, just look up Ben Hardy Ford Escape Hybrid, and then I've got a review on that, so you guys can at least see what those powertrains drive like in other vehicles. And I mean, hopefully that at least helps you guys out just a little bit. Now, the entry-level package is the XL. You've got the middle-of-the-line package, which is the XLT, and then you have the top-of-the-line package, which is the Lariat. The XL starts at $21,490, which is pretty crazy. I don't know if that includes destination charge or not. I'm going to assume not. So after destination charge, right, usually assume another $1,000 roughly. But the cool thing about the XL is that it apparently comes standard with LED lights, which I think is a pretty cool thing for it to come standard with. And then it does have keyless entry as well, but it doesn't have other features. It doesn't have cruise control. It doesn't have power adjustable mirrors. And then it's got alloy wheels, and then you can add some options. So you can add the Copilot 360, it's about 540 bucks. And then the towing package, like I said, you have to get the 2 liter to get this tow package, 745 bucks, and that gives you the 4,000 pounds towing capacity with this truck. Now aside from that, there are the powertrain and then the drive line that you can add to the XL package, and this is the other packages as well, so I'm only going to state this once. So the 2 liter is $1,000 in terms of adding that as an option, and then all-wheel drive is $3,300 bucks. So if you get an XL and only add the 2 liter and only add all-wheel drive, then you're already at over $25,000 in terms of pricing with the truck. So if you want a $21,000 XL, you're going to get the hybrid powertrain, and you're not going to obviously have all-wheel drive as well. So just kind of understand that. And those are, I mean, those two options kind of hike up the price quite a bit. Now the next package is the XLT. This is $23,775. And then this adds cruise control, which is kind of funny. The first one doesn't have cruise control. 17-inch wheels, so the wheels will look better. Power adjustable mirrors. Wow, we get actual like usable comforts. And then a keyless entry keypad. I'm not really a huge fan of it, but I understand the utility in it. That's just personal preference. And then with the XLT, you can actually get the FX4 off-road package, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. I always love off-road packages. Hopefully if I get this as a press vehicle, I get one with the FX4. And then that adds all-terrain tires, skid plates, and yeah, that's just what the FX4 has been on pretty much every Ford since the beginning of time. There's an XLT luxury package, which adds power driver's seat, remote start, and additional outlets. I think that's, and it's $2,300 bucks. I think it's interesting that you have to pay extra for that stuff. Like, I think it should just be standard, but that's just me. Now you've got the Lariat, that's $26,985, and this comes with power seat as standard, LED lights, power sliding rear window, and then you can get, just like the other packages, you can get the Copilot 360. The FX4 is only available on the Lariat and the XLT, and then the towing package you can get on any of them if you get the 2-liter engine. And then the Lariat luxury package, which is $3,340, pretty expensive. We'll see what it has. Adaptive cruise control, upgraded sound system, heated seats, and steering wheel, and Sync 3 infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I mean, it makes sense, right? It adds quite a bit, but again, that's like stuff that you'd hope that the truck has anyways, but it adds that. And then just like what Ford's done with all of their other vehicles they newly released, there is going to be a first edition, $1,495. It includes the luxury package. So if you want like the best bang for your buck, then hopefully you've already reserved one of these right now, because usually the first editions sell out pretty quick. Reserve a first edition and that'll get you pretty much a fully loaded truck, and you get a lot of packages at a better value with the first edition. I mean, I did that with the Bronco, and yeah, it definitely pays off from that perspective. Now, who is actually going to purchase the Maverick? And spoiler alert, it's not truck people. I know that some of you watching this might be truck people, and you're looking at the Maverick and you're like, this is blasphemy. Why would Ford make a front-wheel drive CVT hybrid truck? This doesn't make sense. It does make sense if you look at the market they're going after. They're not going after the truck market per se. They are a little bit, but they're mostly going after the sedan market, believe it or not. So Ford recently discontinued all of their cars. They don't make cars anymore. But there's people that still purchase cars, and so Ford's looked at the reasons why people purchase those cars, and they've made the Maverick fit around those reasons. So there's two main reasons why someone's going to buy a smaller size sedan. First off, it's inexpensive in terms of the purchase price, and secondly, it gets good gas mileage. Well, guess what? The base model Maverick has a hybrid powertrain that gets really good gas mileage, and so Ford's saying, hey, this gets as good, if not better, gas mileage than your car. And then they've made the base price really inexpensive to where it's about the same price as like a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla. So they're like, guess what? You could go buy that little sedan, or you could come buy our pickup truck. Again, fuel economy is about the same, if not better. And then on top of that, right, it's a pickup truck. It's got 4 doors. It's got a bed. It's got all of this utility, and it's not going to break the bank. It's about the same price as that car you were looking at anyways. The other two areas that Ford's attacking with this is the smaller SUV segment. Now, the way that Ford is tackling this is there's a lot of people that'll buy smaller SUVs because they want a little bit more storage than a sedan. And then on top of that, they want the capability to be able to do a little bit of off-roading adventures. And then also they want something that's going to be good in bad weather conditions. Think winter if you have a lot of snow. So with the Maverick, they're like, okay, guess what? It's a truck, so you have even more storage space than your little hatchback. And then on top of that, we'll give you all-wheel drive as an option, so you can take it off-road. You can drive it in areas that don't have great weather as well. And you have all this added utility that a little SUV, hatchback, lifted thing, whatever you want to call them, doesn't have, right? So that's the other market that Ford's going after. And then the third market, right, is the small truck market where you've got the Hyundai Santa Cruz and the Honda Ridgeline, right? Honda was like the only automaker that had a truck in the segment for the longest time. And now you have the Santa Cruz coming out, and now Ford's answering with the Maverick. And so those are the three areas that Ford's kind of going after. They're trying to pull buyers from the sedan market, they're trying to pull buyers from the smaller SUV market, and then they're trying to pull buyers from Hyundai, which, well, I mean, Hyundai hasn't officially, like, you can't buy the truck yet, but they're trying to make sure that people stay with Ford if they were thinking about buying something like that, and then they're trying to pull buyers from Honda as well. Now let's finish things off by getting into why the Maverick is important, and then my final thoughts on the truck. So in terms of the importance, the Maverick is another big step away from cars. So again, like I said, Ford discontinued the car a few years ago, and now they're doing everything they can to make everyone else discontinue the car, right? The main reason why people still buy cars is good fuel economy and inexpensive purchase price. The Maverick attacks both of those. It's relatively inexpensive for the purchase price, and it's supposed to get as good fuel economy as most sedans, if not better. And so Ford is pretty much taking the car out to the barn, and well, you guys can fill in the rest, right? That's just what's happening. Now, aside from the importance, my final thoughts. I actually think that the Maverick is really cool. Aside from that kind of like whole thing that is another shift from one of the automakers to get rid of something and to move forward in a new direction. The other reason why I like the Maverick is I feel like it's a really good value. So I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. The average price of a new car right now is about $38,000, $39,000, somewhere around there. I mean, I don't know the exact statistics, but it's roughly somewhere around there. A fully loaded Ford Maverick with the Lariat package, and then you've got, right, all-wheel drive and the more premium engine and the tow package, let's say, is right around that. So the fact that you can get a pickup truck fully loaded with all of the options and it's still the same price as the price of the average new vehicle, I think that makes it a really good value, because it's like you could go buy a bunch of cars, but you can get this fully loaded version of a truck and it's not more expensive than the average price of a brand new car. So I don't know. I think that makes it a pretty good value. And the fact that the entry-level package is like the same price as a Honda Civic, I mean, that also is just pretty crazy to me, right? It's like if I was in the market for that type of vehicle and I'm going to one dealership another and it's like, oh, hey, you can buy this little front-wheel drive sedan or you can buy this little front-wheel drive truck, I'm going to take the truck every single time, right? There's so much more utility with it. And so I'm all about the Maverick, right? And I think that people need to kind of see the type of buyer that's going to be buying this, like I mentioned in the last point. Once you see that, then the truck makes a whole lot more sense. But that's pretty much going to sum things up, and I'm really excited to review this truck once it's officially released. Aside from that, if you're stopping for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe, comment down below what you think, and then as always, if you feel like my videos are of value to you, I'll include a link to my Patreon in the description down below. I'll see all of you guys in that next video.